Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be going over 15 movies that didn't make my top favourite 15 movies of 1993. This was a fun year. Even when I was compiling my top 15, it was hard to choose. I think when I originally did it, I did have like 30 movies for a short list, but I've seen a hell of a lot more movies in 3 years, and so many more came from 93. I just had a blast compiling this second list alone, but there's no real sort of ranking to this list. These are just, in my opinion, fun movies that came out in 93, and yeah, some well-known ones, some not so well-known ones in this list, but these are all worth checking out in my opinion if you've not seen them. So yeah, that being said, gonna kick it off with the first pick I've got. So coming up first, we have
worked very closely with Psycho 24. I have personally supervised its development. No potential danger was left uninvestigated. The environmentalists are crackpots. All of them. This is ridiculous, I tell you. Totally ridiculous.
Thank you, Valdez. That'll be all.
Hey, wait a minute.
Ricky, this is important. We are talking about a major threat to the EES image.
Freaked. So this was actually directed by and stars Alex Winter, I think well known from the Bill and Ted movies and The Lost Boys. And this sort of reunites him again, although he has a small role in it with Keanu Reeves. This is just an absolute balls to the wall, insane movie. The practical effects in this film are just exceptional. The humour is just so fast paced. It feels like a Naked Gun or an Airplane movie. The humour just is so relentless, it never holds up. So it kind of follows Alex Winter and sort of a group of people. They end up sort of getting taken in by a freak show carnival, and they end up sort of getting tricked and turned into freaks themselves. But like I said, just so much fun to be had in this film. Like I said, you've got small roles from Keanu Reeves, Mr. T, Randy Quaid's in there as like the leader of this this sort of carnival. I absolutely love it. I have a blast with it. It's so fun. It makes me laugh. I just have a great time with it. So yeah, that is Freaked. So coming up next, we have
Uh-oh.
My Boyfriend's Back. So yeah, this is a bit of a different take on the zombie genre. It has all of those tropes that I enjoy, like of a high school movie. Really enjoy it. You've got the nerdy kid, the bully, the girl he's after. And in order to try and win this girl's affection, he sort of stages a robbery at like a gas station. Something goes horribly wrong. He ends up dying, and he comes back as a zombie. But not your traditional zombie. There's some great early roles in this movie as well. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Matthew McConaughey, Matthew Fox, all have great sort of early career roles in this movie. And it's just fun. It's just a lot of good fun. It's a great time. Really sort of tongue-in-cheek humour as sort of this lad who we follow, his body parts start to fall off as he's decaying. He's brought back from the dead. Yeah, there's just a lot of fun to this movie. Real harmless charm to it. So yeah, that is My Boyfriend's Back. So coming up next, we have
Power! We need more power! I can't let...
Alive. So this is probably one of the most harrowing movies on this list and that I've ever seen, to be honest, because I wasn't really prepared or expecting what this movie had in store. Sort of follows this rugby team traveling in South America. Something happens to the plane and they end up crashing in these mountains. And the movie is just jam-packed full of characters. Not only do you have the rugby team, but the teachers, the parents. They're all going on this trip, and yeah, characters start dropping off and dying one by one. And some of them in small groups as well. But from the plane crash to surviving the cold to surviving starvation, having to resort to cannibalism, it's just really, really uncomfortable and harrowing stuff in this film. But it's a great movie. So yeah, that is Alive. So coming up next, we have...
Tommy, good to see you, sir.
Hey, Uncle Fred.
Hey, cuz, ain't you gonna introduce your date?
It's not my date. This is my new partner, Officer Joe Christman.
Hi.
Unfortunately, these are the Hardys. My Uncle Fred.
Hi.
Joe, nice to meet you.
Cousin Gary.
Hi, how are you?
Don't fuck her.
Yeah.
Striking Distance, starring Bruce Willis. This has got an exceptional cast to it, this movie. I really, really enjoy it. It's got a lot. It's a very sort of underrated little action movie as well. Tom Atkins in there, Sarah Jessica Parker, to name but a few. But yeah, Bruce Willis sort of plays a cop in this movie who, because of sort of allegations that have been thrown around about someone who he suspects to be this killer, people think he's becoming like unhinged and out of touch with the role, so he gets demoted, and the killer starts to really sort of have fun with this and really sort of taunt Bruce Willis's character in this. He's called Tom Hardy in the movie, by the way. But yeah, it's just a fun action film. Really, really enjoy it. Tongue-in-cheek. And a twist ending that I really didn't see coming. Really had a good time at this movie. Very, very underrated in my opinion. So yeah, that is Striking Distance. So coming up next, we have...
What are you doing?
Hearts and Souls, starring Robert Downey Jr. So this is another one of these sort of heartwarming type of movies. Lots of charm to it. And yeah, I really enjoyed the cast of characters in this movie. It sort of follows, at the start of this movie, a young child who is sort of befriended by 4 ghosts who died in a bus crash. And he absolutely adores all these characters, and they've become very, very good friends. But the 4 spirits have to leave him at some point, and then we cut to years later. He's grown up to be Robert Downey Jr., and the 4 spirits come back and sort of like have to kind of sort of integrate into his life again, and sort of make him a better person, as it were. It's just a fun movie. Like I said, lots of heart to it. Really, really enjoy this one. So yeah, Robert Downey Jr. movie that doesn't really get talked about all that much. So yeah, that is Heart and Souls. So coming up next, we have...
Mary,
What?
take me to the window.
Yes, sweetie.
I wish to say goodbye.
Yes, sweetie.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Bye-bye, cruel world.
Goodbye to life.
Bye-bye, life.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye, bye.
Goodbye to all that.
All that.
Sister! Observe! They opened it!
Just when our time was running out. Come, we fly! Fly! On what? We fly.
Hocus Pocus. So this is going to be a childhood staple for a lot of people, myself included. I grew up absolutely loving this movie and I had so much fun with it. The 3 actresses who they got to play the Sanderson sisters in this movie, they're all having a ball in this film with what they have to do in terms of the script. And yeah, Bette Midler steals the show as Winifred. Yeah, these kids, they bring them back. They know that there's this sort of historic tale in this little town. They bring them back. We've all seen the movie. We all know what it's about. It's a fun, tongue-in-cheek... I don't want to say it's a gateway horror film, but it's just the stage before that, I think. Kids can really, really eat this one up and just have a blast with it. Very, very nostalgic. And yeah, it's just a fun movie. Really, really enjoy it. So yeah, that is Hocus Pocus. So coming up next, we have... mutant action. So this is a bit of a crazy one, and I absolutely love it, this film. No one seems to talk about it. It is a Spanish movie, but this movie is just so creative. I absolutely love it. Plot-wise, it sort of follows a band of terrorists who live in a world where really the only beautiful and stunning people are sort of allowed to live and form this society. And they're a group of terrorists who are fighting for the not so attractive people's rights in this movie. So they kidnap the president's daughter, or this sort of world leader. They kidnap his daughter and they take her to this planet where no woman's sort of really allowed to live. It's absolutely insane. I really, really enjoy this film. It's gory, it's mean-spirited. It's just a fun time. Really, really enjoy it. So if you've not seen this one, check it out if that sounds like your type of movie, because, yeah, I just enjoyed the creative aspect of this film. Really had fun with it. So, yeah, that is Action Mutant. So coming up next, we have...
Yes, the atomic bomb is terrible. But more terrible still are the effects of atomic mutation. Hello, I'm Lawrence Woolsey. And I want to warn you about something that could happen. Something that does happen in my newest motion picture.
Matinee, directed by Joe Dante. Possibly one of, if not my favourite Joe Dante movie. Yeah, I'm putting this above Gremlins, to be honest. I have fun with this film. I really, really enjoy it. It sort of follows John Goodman, who's this big sort of movie producer slash director type of character. And he's putting out this new film called Mant. And all while this is going on, this sort of like Cold War is going on as well. Like this, the threat of like an atomic or nuclear war is at foot with these people. And this sort of everyday people are already sort of boycotting and shunning this movie without actually having seen it. And it's just this really, really sort of bizarre turn of events. Really, really enjoy this film. I have an absolute ton of fun with it. John Goodman can do no wrong, in my opinion. I love the cast of kids in this movie as well. Some of them get trapped in this bunker towards the end. And yeah, it's just a fun movie with a movie within it as well. Really, really enjoy it. Just have a blast with this one. So yeah, that is Matinee. So coming up next, we have... Dennis the Menace. Is this a great movie? No. Is it a staple of my childhood? Absolutely. I have such a great time with this film. I have so much nostalgia for it. I didn't actually acquire this for my collection until quite recently, maybe a year or two ago. And I rewatched it and yeah, it brought back so many memories. I just really enjoy it. Walter Matthau as Mr. Wilson is just great. And Dennis... the two of these characters, both neighbours, are just constantly at war with each other. And it is just so much fun. Really, really enjoy it. Some mean-spirited jokes in there as well. Christopher Lloyd, terrifying as this sort of this really dirty-looking criminal in the movie. I just have a blast with it. It's just a fun, great time. Harmless fun, entertainment. Really, really enjoy it. The actors are hamming it up in this movie as well. So, yeah, that is Dennis the Menace. So coming up next, we have...
First I can remember, I was 4 years old.
And?
I wasn't allowed any physical contact or even allowed to go out in public.
Why?
My health was still poor because the risk of infection. People were so used to staying away from me that they always stayed away. I never got close to people.
Untamed Heart. This was one that I actually watched when I was sort of studying my A-levels in film studies. And yeah, I had a great time with this one. We were sort of looking into the genre of tearjerkers, and this movie came up. And yeah, it sort of follows Christian Slater, who's kind of a quiet sort of busboy in this movie. And one of the waitresses where they work is played by Marissa Tomei. And she sort of had enough of men cheating on her and treating her like crap. So she decides to ends up dating Christian Slater's character after he saves her life after a horrible incident. And there's more to his character. I don't want to say any more. There's just more to him. He's keeping a secret about himself. And it leads to an absolutely devastating ending in this film. But yeah, it's one I really, really enjoy. It's heartwarming. It is a tearjerker. But yeah, it's just a good movie that hardly anyone really ever talks about. So yeah, really enjoy this one. So that's Untamed Heart. Next up, we have...
I'm allergic to those goddamn things.
Get that out of here! Where is that? Waiter! Waiter! Where's the waiter?
Go. Shoot.
The Temp. So this movie, to my surprise, was actually directed by Tom Holland. I absolutely love some of his horror movies, Fright Night and Child's Play. And this is kind of another one to add to the roster, although it doesn't go full horror. It sort of follows Timothy Hutton's character. He's this high executive who works, I think he works under Faye Dunaway in this film. And he's not willing to sort of be the bad guy in situations. He's very straight cut, he's by the book, does things the honest way. But he works with people who don't really sort of have that same ideology. And in comes this new temp who she works for him, but she's willing to do all the things he's not in order to get ahead. And that's kind of the movie. I really enjoy it. It's got some really good creepy moments in it as well. Great cast. Timothy Hutton, very underrated actor in my opinion. Didn't really get his dues despite winning his Oscar back in like early 1980. And yeah, it's just a really, really good creepy movie from Tom Holland. So yeah, that is The Temp. So coming up next, we have...
Hi. Can I talk to you a sec?
Sorry?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, it's a little awkward. Would you mind stopping that?
Why?
Never mind. I hardly know where to begin.
The Crush. So this is a very, very underrated creepy movie. It very much falls into like movies like Disclosure and Fatal Attraction. It follows Kerry Ellis's character, who's this journalist who ends up sort of renting this house, and sort of staying there as well is kind of like a young girl played by Alicia Silverstone, but she's very attracted to him, becomes very, very obsessed with him. But when he sort of refuses her advances, she sort of starts to ruin his life, and in the worst way possible. And yeah, it's just a really, really good creepy movie. Really enjoy it. It was great to see these actors sort of do a movie like this. It's not very well received, but I honestly had a cracking time with this film. I thought it was excellent. Really, really enjoyed it. Definitely one for the rewatch pile. And yeah, I just had a blast with it. So yeah, that is The Crush. So coming up next, we have...
It's up!
I'm bleeding!
You can do it, sir!
Hold her, Gabe! Hold her! Gabe, please don't let me fall! Please, please, I don't want to die!
You're not gonna die!
Don't slap me!
Sarah, I got you! Just reach up!
So the first of two Stallone movies on this list, Cliffhanger. Yeah, this again, it's typical fun. I love the opening sequence to this movie. It's just absolutely harrowing. It sets things up perfectly for what's to come. And it sort of follows Stallone's character, who after a tragedy, he's sort of this mountaineer, sort of rock climbing expert, along with a few other characters in the movie, Michael Rooker being one of them. There's a bit of a rift there between the two of them, and there's sort of these group of, I want to say terrorists, the bad guys of the movie, led by John Lithgow. They lose this money in the mountains, and they have to sort of take these professional mountaineers hostage in order to find the money. And yeah, it's just over the top. It's fun. John Lithgow is the villain in anything. I'm absolutely sold. You know, Blowout, Ricochet, Cliffhanger. He's just a great villain. He just has an absolute ball. Every time I watch him, he's so charismatic. And yeah, this is just a fun movie with Stallone. So yeah, that is Cliffhanger. So coming up next, we have...
The museum is no longer sealed, is it? What can I say? I'm a blast from the past.
Should have stayed there.
Oh boy, that voice sounds familiar. Who is that?
Demolition Man. So yeah, another great Stallone movie to come out of '93. Very futuristic movie, crime movie, sort of following this criminal and this detective who were frozen together for a mishap that happened with this crime. Simon Phoenix, played by Wesley Snipes, is defrosted, escapes, and because in the future the police aren't really sort of trained to deal with this sort of type of psychopath, they defrost John Spartan as well, played by Stallone, to sort of deal with him and put him back. And yeah, this is just an over-the-top fun movie. Great cast as well. Sandra Bullock, Dennis Leary, Rob Schneider. I have such a fun time with this film. And yeah, it's just absolutely great. Still wonder how the hell you used the 3 seashells in this movie. If you've seen it, you know you know. So yeah, that is Demolition Man. So coming up next for the final film, we have...
You're pretty good. What's your name? Ray. Yeah, you're a good negotiator. Because you didn't even lowball me.
I'm gonna come in here and lowball you? Forget about that.
Well, you know, because the thing is, I gotta trust you. There's the payment of the money, and then there's your friends keeping their mouths shut, you know.
No, hold on. We're businessmen, both of us. We have an understanding.
Oh. Let me tell you something, Ray. You don't understand shit, okay? Nothing. Guys like you gotta keep checking your pants to see if you got a dick. I got one. You and your friends are the kind of spoon-fed fucking fruit bait that I fucking hate!
Judgment Night. I remember seeing this back on TV back in the day, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I had to hunt out the DVD, and I've rewatched the film a couple of times, and I still enjoy it. It sort of follows a group of friends: Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Stephen Dorff, and Jeremy Piven, as one of them sort of has this new motorhome, and they've got tickets to this game, so they decide to go. They get stuck in traffic, divert through these slums, and they witness a murder, and this gang is completely after them for the entire night. It's just a tense thrill ride. I really, really enjoy it. There's moments where you think, oh, maybe they are really going to get out of this, and then they don't, and it's just absolutely harrowing. Edge of your seat stuff, like I said. Really, really enjoy it. Great cast and a fun action film with a really great ending. So yeah, that is Judgment Night. So yeah, that is it, guys. Those are some more 15 movies from 1993 that I enjoy. Have you seen any of these? Do you plan on checking them out? Do you own any of them? Do you enjoy them as much as I do? I have a great time with all of these, so yeah, let me know down below in the comments. So I'm going to leave the video there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.